Your mother asked you to go home.
Don't treat me like a child. I'm not a child.
No, Damaris, you're not.
I'm old. As old as these trees. Are you afraid of me?
I don't understand you.
No, you never have.
Raymond Fletcher, you are a stubborn... If you won't take my advice, I don't know why you called me here.
I don't need pills. I'm not sick. They won't help. I've got nerves.
You've got nerves. That's exactly what I've been trying to tell you, and these will help the nerves.
They won't help.
They will help. I'll get you some water.
I'll get the water.
You know I was wrong about you. You're not just a stubborn old man. You are a stupid, stubborn old man. Now, if you insist on staying awake night and having nightmares, then fine. Forget about those pills.
Good day, Doctor.
Good day, Mr. Fletcher.
You're right. There's something about this place. It's almost as if...
As if what?
I belong here, too.
Michael, you haven't forgotten. You can't ever forget. You come back because you can't ever forget.
This is what killed your uncle. Glass. Couldn't have done a better job if he'd fallen into a meat grinder. At the hearing, the district attorney will be proving cause. Not how he died, but what made him fall through that door.
Damaris did not cause my uncle's death.
Well, she says she did. She came at him with a knife. And Dr. Clark is set to swear that before your uncle died, he told him the same thing. She came running at him with a knife. He tried to get away and fell through the shower door. Second-degree murder.
Doesn't it matter I'm ready to swear that she was with me?
Well, it'll take more than swearing. It'll take proof.
You're supposed to be her lawyer. You sound more like the district attorney. She confessed because she believed she was here. Somebody made her believe that by projecting that idea into her mind.
You know, I'd like to meet that man. Projects into her mind, your uncle's. You know, if he set himself to it, a man like that could start taking over the whole town.
I know it can happen because that same image was projected into my mind, too.
Now, let's just calm down.
All right, Mr. Winslow, call it ESP, psychic phenomena, or whatever you want, but it does happen.
Dr. Rhodes.
Look, I want to see Damaris.
You know, there is more to this than just the girl's confession. Or even what Gil Clark is set to testify. Motive.
How can she have a motive for something she didn't do?
Just listen to me. Bayport is a small town. Everybody here talks to everybody else. And your uncle give this town more to talk about than they've had since the hurricane of 1938. Ever since he come here, Damaris spent more time in this house than she did in her own. Pretty young girl like that and a rich old man like him. Well, that happens even in Bayport. But then something goes wrong and they fight. And she... Well, there it is, out in the open. And that's what she's up against. She's not going to stand a chance at that hearing tomorrow. She might as well go in there and plead temporary insanity, whether it's true or not. Leastways, she'd come out of that with 7, maybe 10 years.
Do you think I'm lying?
Well, somebody has to be. And in this case, it's 2 against 1. You against Damaris and Gil Clark.
I want to see Damaris, and I'll prove I'm right.
Don't try to help me, Michael, please. This is the way it was meant to be.
But we both know you were with me. Why won't you let me help you?
Because you can't. All my life I've been different. You can ask anybody in Bayport. I always felt as though I was waiting for something wonderful to happen, When your uncle moved, it happened. It wasn't wonderful. It was terrible.
What was?
I knew why I'd always been different. Michael, I'm a witch.
Damaris.
I know. When I first saw your uncle, I knew what I'd been waiting for. I saw myself killing him with that knife. I kept seeing it over and over. I had to do it. That's why I was born.
Damaris. Just because you saw a vision, that doesn't make you a witch.
Please, Michael, I know what I am. My mother knows what the Eaton women have always been. I'm a witch, just like the first Damaris Eaton was a witch. Michael, you've got to understand. And you've got to leave me alone. I've killed a man. And I've got to kill you. Now get out of here. Get away. Get away.
I told you to leave Bayport.
Then you believe your daughter's a witch.
There have been witches in the Eaton family since the Pilgrims first set foot on the rock. I know what has to be done, and I'll do it.
The hearing's tomorrow, Mrs. Eaton. If she's indicted, charged with second-degree murder.
Tomorrow's tomorrow, and we'll face it when it comes. If you're smart, you'll take the quick road down to Boston, get on a plane, and go back where you come from.
Witchcraft? Don't be absurd, Rhodes.
It doesn't matter whether you believe in witchcraft or I do. Damaris does. Now, if you want to help her, tell me when her attitude toward you changed.
Oh, it was a couple of months ago.
After my uncle came to Bayport.
Now, look, if you're insinuating something between Damaris and
I'm
your...
not saying that. It's just that her attitude changed about the same time my uncle began having his problems.
Yes, I guess so.
Well, was the change gradual, or did she just suddenly cut off the relationship with you?
I don't know. It was like she didn't have time for me any longer, like I wasn't important in her life. She was spending all her time here or down by the waterfall.
She didn't give you any explanation?
None. I'd see her here, in the hall, in your uncle's room. Sometimes I had the feeling that she was frightened of something, and that she wanted me to help her.
Help her with what?
I don't know. I never could find out. I followed her one day down into the woods. I don't know what she was doing. I saw her face. Before she knew I was there, it was full of hatred. Anyway, she saw me and ran. You know, I had the feeling that the girl I was seeing wasn't Damaris. It was somebody frightening, standing by the waterfall.
educated man, a man who calls himself doctor. Why do you think none of us who lives in Bayport ever goes down to that clearing?
It's all in the local library, Mrs. Eaton. 300 years ago, a woman accused of being a witch was burned at the stake by a judge, Judge Fletcher. And the man she loved, the judge's nephew, refused to testify in her behalf. We're all descendants from those people. My uncle and I from the judge, you and Damaris from the woman that was burned as a witch.
And you're the one who didn't believe in witches.
This is no witchcraft. Before that woman was burned, she sent out a thought. She willed that her family would justify her, willed that the judge and his nephew and their families would be killed. This isn't witchcraft. This is a thought so powerful 300 years couldn't stop it. Judge Fletcher and his nephew fled this town. And no one from our family has been back here until my uncle and I returned.
Well, you believe what you want to believe. There's a witch in my daughter, and I'm going to drive her out.
Damaris isn't a witch. She's picked up the thought, and it's forcing her to act. She thinks there's a witch in her, but it's only the thought that that woman sent out.
This is the only thing in the world that can help Damaris now.
Where did you get that?
Been passed.